Hey everyone, so if you're watching this video, you're probably having problems with your window regulator, as is the case with my car. I was working fine one day I went to put the window down, went down just fine, went to put it up, heard a couple pops, very light pops, and all of a sudden it wouldn't go anymore. I will show you what caused the issue, but essentially what's happening is this: the window will go down moderately, will not go, you'll hear it, you can hear that, but it won't do anything. So we're going to go ahead, open the door, show you how to change the regulator. And it seems like a daunting process, but not too bad. So we'll go through it now. You'll need a few things. You'll need a socket set. You'll need a flathead screwdriver. So let's get started on that now and go through everything. Alright, so we'll show you the first two pieces here that you have to do. So you get your flathead screwdriver. And you're going to gently pop this stuff out here. So first you got to do is you got to take this out here. Most times you actually do it by hand if you have strong hands. If not though, find an inconspicuous spot down at the below. I like to go here, go in kind of sideways, and just kind of twist, and it'll kind of pop. Careful not to damage the piece itself, or to damage your door. You have to pull the handle, pull around, that'll come out. Next, you got to take out this piece here. So again, find an inconspicuous spot. I'm going to go right here, push it in, just pull outward, and that'll come out. Done. Okay, so we're going to take out the two bolts. One here, one here. It's 10 mil. So there's a 10 mil. Now I'm using, you can use a socket with an extension. I just like this, my little screwdriver with a 10 mil piece on. Works fine. Just go in there, feel it. Once you got it, start turning. There, that's out. Same here. Feel out and turn. You'll actually, if you're, my leg for example on the door, and I can feel it just kind of pulling away ever so slightly as you loosen these. Now once you finish loosening those out, underneath here, right about here, is a notch. See if I can show you guys. Let's see. There it is. See? There you go. You're just going to take your screwdriver, gonna pop it in there, and pull. Just get this back set up for you guys. Once that's done, just pull away. Working your way around as you go. One of the bolts came out. There we go. Just work your way around, starting from the bottom and working your way up. Oh, I didn't expect that. Normally, as you're pulling, once you get to the top of the lock, you just pull that off. And when it comes off here, guys, you can see there's a switch right there. You got to unplug that. To unplug that, just a little piece here. Just push in. Right, let me see if I get a better angle and actually show you before I do it. See right there? There you go. See? So you just use your flathead. So where did I put that trusty flathead? There it is. One second, guys. Go. Push that in. Much easier with two hands because you use one hand to pull the wire while you use the other hand to prop this. Right now I'm using one hand to do kind of both, but there you go. And that's it. Door is off. Just take your panel, put it aside. Next up, you got to remove the water shield. For that, you need a knife. You want to cut along. While cutting, you want to make sure you're trying to leave glue on both sides, so when you're ready to reapply, it can be applied pretty easily. Start anywhere. Start on the top. If glue does come off, actually you can see already here, it's not completely sticking. Sticking all to one side instead of both. If that happens, not a problem. It's just my preference to have it on both, so it kind of adheres a little better. Not a big deal. In this case here, it's actually coming off pretty smoothly. You'll notice here, I'm not sure if every model of Grand Prix from 04 to 08 will have this, but it has a little plug. I'm doing this part kind of manually. I don't want to destroy it. There we go. Again, take your knife if you see how it's giving a little thing, so I'm just going to use my knife. Work it around bit by bit. And a little bit, anywhere you get like just some resistance or tension, use the knife to release it. There, completely off. But it's somewhere safe, somewhere it doesn't get any wind or anything to blow it, and you're all set there. Okay, before we start the repair, I'm going to show you what went wrong in mine. And actually, it may even help you get it back up, because this is what I had to do. It was a two-man job to get the window up. The window, when it had fallen, was halfway down like this, and in winter, not good. So, what I did, first I had to figure out the issue. What I noticed is this right here. Just get a good... See this piece here, just get in here, fits in here, and it's supposed to fit spring loaded and snug, like that. This piece, and there's another one above, let me see if I can get a shot, not sure if I can. There it is, there's the other one. Had completely become dislodged. When that became dislodged, there's still tension to bring the window down if I want to bring the window down even further. But once I bring it up, then this just kind of moves with it, no longer creating the tension, and the window wouldn't go up. So what I did in order to get the window up was I had pushed this in, and I pushed that one in, I held them both, and I would use, this was still hooked up, I hooked this up, and I would push the window up and create a little bit of tension, but when it created tension only to a point, then we had to manually pull this up. We'd pull this up a little bit, do a little bit more, so until I got it up, and then I held it. Now you see I didn't use the greatest tape, but that was kind of an emergency situation. It was cold, I didn't have any painter's tape or anything like that, which is the ideal thing to use. So I just used regular tape. That's going to be kind of a pain to clean, but at least the window was up and sealed, so I didn't have to worry about the elements or cold or anything at that time. A little bit of a price to pay now, but at least I was safe for the winter. Now, however, of course, now we've got to take that down. Cleaning this off, that'll be something for later. Right now we need to get it fixed. In order to do some of this, I've also realized I'm going to need that switch, so you're going to have to take it off. See, that's pretty straightforward. Just put the flathead in, put it right in here, twist, and you'll feel it just kind of pop. Just wiggle it out. Now there's two clips here. This may be a little trickier. Let's see. Put it in here, pop it out. Clip underneath, and the problem is doing it with one hand is not easy, but you get the idea. I'm gonna have to stop the video because I can't do it with one hand. What I have to do is there's two clips, one on the top, one on the bottom. The bottom clip is still holding it in. You can't really get it out with one hand because I need to get the screwdriver back here. Same idea, it's just a little piece over here. Put the screwdriver underneath there and just lift to pop it out, and then this whole piece will come out here. Then you got to hook it back up over there because you need to be able to bring the window up and down. I'll show you guys that in a bit. I've got that switch back out. As you can see, I've hooked it up here temporarily to get us going. Actually, it won't be temporarily. Pretty much it'll be here until I'm ready, because when I'm ready, just pop it right back into the door panel. So now we're ready. So I've kind of already done it, but I have to drop the window down. Actually, I had to kind of push this switch down. Hear the noise in there. And you can actually even see it move. That should be creating tension. It's not. It's all, the spring's all released. Anyways, as you can see though, I brought the window down. I had to bring it down because you got to get to these two bolts here to release the window itself. And now when the window is released, you can pull it back up and you just tape it to hold it up here. So it's gonna first do that. It's with a, luckily everything, all the bolts is 10 mil bolts. So first we're gonna open that one up here. You want to create just enough so you get able to get the window out. Same here. Just enough to get the window released. Now if you have two people, that's even better. If not, no big deal. But the main thing, of course, is now have some tape ready, which I did not bring out with me. That's fantastic. I'll pause the video in a second to get the tape. But what you'll do here now is you're going to pull the window up and you're going to tape it. Once you tape it, that'll hold it in place while you do the other work. Give me a second, I'm just going to get the tape. Sorry about that, guys. I know I forgot the tape, so don't forget your tape. Alright, so as you know, I've already released these two bolts here. The window should then just lift out, no problem. So again, they're down there, one down there, one down there. That's what holds the mirror in, the window in. You saw it already. So you just lift up now. That's gonna fall. That's okay. You're just gonna slide that up till it gets to the top. When it gets up there, because it doesn't have the weight of this holding it down, it should stay. Just get some. You want to be safe though, so just get some tape. Don't need too much, just enough to hold it in place. Really, the best thing is painter's tape, because it sticks and doesn't leave a lot of residue or anything. Unfortunately, as I started this job and kind of looked over everything, I realized I didn't have any. Normally I keep some for body work and stuff. Don't have any, so I'm just using kind of masking tape right now. Not the most ideal because it leaves some residue, and if I didn't already have that already stuck on there from when I held the window over in the winter, I may be more hesitant to do it, maybe even delayed doing this video to get some tape. But as I already have the residue there, I'm not terribly concerned about it. I'll have to do some cleanup, and since I'll get this off fairly quickly, shouldn't be too much of a problem. That's done. That should hold it in place. Now we've got to take out, there's 3 screws here. One here, one here, and one under this plug right here. So let's just go ahead, get that set up here. There you go. So first we're going to just take out that plug there, just see what we're dealing with behind there. We're just going to pop that out. Just it looks like a little nut. I'll take this off here. First thing we do is I'm just going to loosen them. Wow, quite on there actually. I guess that would make sense. It has to be sturdy. So I'm going to release that one first. Down. Just 1 second. To be honest, I'm not sure if there's a particular order to this. I don't think so, and I didn't see anything that indicated otherwise. So I'm just, once I've cracked all of it, well, maybe better to have left the top one first, huh? What do you think? So maybe we do that one last, but in the meantime, we're okay here. There. Again, this out of here may be a little tricky. I've never done it on this car before, obviously. Get around to this side here. We're gonna bring that up, around. Oh, that would make sense. There's a plug here. We got to get that plug out. That plugs directly into the motor. So we're gonna get our flat head. Looks like just like the other type of switch. It's got a little notch on the top. Push that in. Pull out. I had missed that. If I had known that, I would actually have done that before releasing everything, because it would have made this part a lot easier. So just gonna move over here. Again, it's just a little plug. Not sure if you're seeing it right there. Push that in, down. It's out. Okay. I'm just gonna swing that out. Looks like it comes out pretty Straightforward, twist it around. Watch the wiring. Take note of how you're bringing this out, because obviously that's how the other one goes back in. That's it, assembly's out. Let's do a quick comparison of the old assembly and the new one so you can see what the new one looks like in comparison to how mine looks. Let's go ahead with that. Alright guys, so here you can compare the original assembly, which is over here, obviously, and then the new one on the left. You can see, I always do this anyways. You always compare your parts to make sure everything matches up, especially if you do something like buy online or something, which actually in this case I did. Everything looks like it matches up perfectly. Some changes and discrepancies, but you know, for example, this motor a little bit different than the one here, just ever so slightly, but that's to be expected, no problem there. You want to make sure all the bolts match up where everything is. You can see what I was talking about here now. You see how this is in here and they're tensioned, they're locked in, whereas mine have completely blown out, like just gone. So that's where the problem came in and why the window wouldn't work anymore. But we can see that these are the same parts, everything is good to go. So we're going to go ahead now and start the reassembly and putting everything together. One thing to note, and obviously I'll do it in the video, but you can see here that whereas this had to come down low, it had to be about here for me to loosen these bolts and put the window in. This is higher up, which means I'm going to imagine that once we hook everything up, I'm going to have to hook up the switch, run this down a bit, drop the window in, tighten it, put it back up. But we'll see how things go. So let's cut to that now. Alright, so we're ready to go with the new piece. First thing we're going to do is obviously unbag it. Just going to take a seat over here. There we go. Open that up with my trusty knife. It looks like it comes pre-greased already. That's even better. Always double check. You want to make sure all the necessary pieces are greased up, especially in the track and everything, which is right here. But it looks like this comes greased, which is nice. I can't say that every piece does, so or every manufacturer. So you want to double check that. So we're going to open this up, put the bag aside, and we're all set there with our piece. So just like how I took it out, this will go in the same way. I slide that in this way, kind of work it around as I go. I'm going to watch for other components inside. Watch for the glass, as the glass is still hanging down there. Just a little bit, not a lot, but you want to make sure you're watching for all that. So we're in. We're going to twist. Again, while twisting, watching for anything, particularly the glass up above. So what I'm using as the lead is the top bolt here. It's like kind of a notch. It's like a bigger hole that has a notch in it, and that's going to sit in there. So I'm going to take that screw and place it right in there. When I do that, everything else should match up, which it right there does. So now that we have everything, I'm going to put this bottom one in first. Lead that in. Followed by this one here. Actually, I'm going to digress for a second. I'm going to take this out. It actually reduces some of my necessary flexibility I need. I'm going to start with this one. Drill that in first. And the reason I'm doing that is because this has a bigger opening here, allows for some play of the screw. This doesn't have an opening, it's pretty narrow. So once I put this in, I can play around with it to kind of get this to match up. We did there, see? So going one way where I'd put this first and then this made it actually quite difficult. Where I put this first, because there's some play around, that allowed me to put this together a lot easier. Then the final one, I'm going to put this one right here, which I'll just lead into my 10 mil. I'm just going to hook that up right there. Now one thing I did notice again was how tight these were. I am going to probably need my socket after this is done. that's not good. On a memento. So this one here is giving some interesting problems with going in. Could be because it's new, not sure. Give it a try, but again, exercise caution. Okay, this is going to need a little more investigation on my end because I'm not sure why that's giving me so much problems. I'm just going to pause the video for a second, look into it a little more. I'll come back with some advice on why that's giving me issues. Alright, so apparently that nut's camera shy because I ended the video just now. Said, I don't know what's going on. I looked at it, looked perfectly fine. The thread over there was perfectly fine. Tried it one more time, went on without a hitch. I have no idea why it gave me problems on the video, but it went on, no problem. So problem solved. So we're gonna go in and just finish that off. Tighten that up, make sure it's nice and secure. I'm gonna go to this one here. Tighten that up. Good. Tighten this one up. Good. So we're all set there. If you don't have the strength for it, I recommend using a socket. I believe this goes to something like 70 or 80 foot-pounds, but I read online. I don't know the exact number of specifications, but I could tell you that, as you guys saw in the video, it took quite a bit to get that off. So, like there, all the bolts, even the ones for the window down here, I hold the window on, all those will take quite a bit. So, but those look good. Now we're gonna hook this back up in here. Now that hooked up should give us beautiful. So now we get this down here, so we have access to our two bolts here. We're gonna release them to allow us to fit the window in. Okay. Now we're gonna carefully release the tape that we just placed down. And again, carefully grab the window from the bottom, so you're securing it, holding it, and start sliding it down. With caution and care, until you get it here. Once you get it here, now everyone's slightly different. Like these pieces here, the rubber pieces that the glass fits into are slightly different on the old one versus the new one. So you're gonna have to gauge that out. In this case here, it looks like I'm gonna have to put a flathead in there and just release some of the tension first. Didn't have to do that on the old one. That also could be because it's worn right there. I have to do that on this side too. There. And drop the glass right in. So now that that's done, tighten it back up. Now while at the same time, exercise with caution. I don't know what the torque specifications here. This was very tight, and I imagine that's tight for a reason. You don't want to tighten in a back and forth motion, so that you're not being too even, putting too much pressure here, or tightening it so the glass is at an angle. You want to go back and forth, back and forth. Now this should be our moment of truth. We're going to test it here. works. I think part of the problem that we're getting here is the tape that's on there. It's creating some tension. I'm going to clean that up. We're going to try it again. But it looks like at least she's working. That's a good sign. So we're going to put everything back together. But first thing, I'm going to clean up some of the tape that's on here. That's going to create a lot of the resistance and everything that's happening there right now. Alright, so we should be all set on that front. Alright everyone, so I figured out what the problem was. Seems pretty straightforward out actually now that I know about it, but didn't know at the time, didn't encounter something like this before, but it seems pretty easy. So what I told you guys just now was you drop this down, drop the mirror down, you loosen those two nuts, two bolts, pry it open, drop the window in. What I realize now though, is that's kind of causing a misalignment between the window when you're putting it up, and that's what's causing tension, not this tape. The tape's cleaned up, it's only a little bit on the glass, but that's not what's causing tension. So, what I realized is there's a hole right over here. So I pushed the glass all the way back up. It was holding here on its own without the motorized piece. And then using the switch, I lifted the motorized piece all the way up until it got to here. And I could see that the nut was right here. It's right there. So I dropped this down. It doesn't take very much. Drop it down right into it so if it's nice and snug, it's right into the groove. So to recap, what you'd be doing is the glass is still up here. You don't bring it down. You crack the two nuts that are down here. You then use a flathead screwdriver, crack here the clamps so they open up. Then you use the motor. You bring it back up until you can see the nut through here. Drop the glass in, and I tighten that one nut. There's no other hole for the other nut. You just tighten the one. When you tighten the one, then you bring it back down. Once it's back down, tighten this one over here. And then from there, you just alternate like I was telling you before. You tighten here, make sure it's good, snug, good and tight. I don't know what the foot-pound is. I didn't look into it, to be honest, so I just went until it felt good and tight, beyond hand tight, but not enough to damage. Again, it's got a rubber grommet here, but you don't want to damage anything. Once that's done, then you're good to go. So now everything is reassembly, but before reassembly, we'll just recap. So under this cap here was a nut, put that on. Got one here where the motor is, that's on. This is on here. Two nuts down here. Open them up, open the clamp, raised it up, put the window in nice and snug, tightened it here, drop it down, tighten it up, and then all the way up and you're good to go. Reassembly now is pretty much all the same as you did before. You start off with your water shield. Just got to realign that back up and assemble. I start near the top, line it up here. Once you have the bead kind of run, don't press it in until you've got like a side lined up. Like you see, I waited till I got everything lined up before I did it. So this here, I make sure I get it all the way down and then I'll press it in. Make sure it's nice and snug. Same here. I'll run it along. Trail it's supposed to be on before I really push it on. Here too. All lined up correctly. It's not an exact science, but you know, if you do it right, you'll be all protected. Leave the car. There you go. From there, it's now just about reassembling everything. So you grab your door panel, put the switch in. So actually, I'm just gonna hop over to that side. It'll be a lot easier to do. 1 second. So the switch is here. You're just gonna pop that back in. Snap nicely. Make sure it's still working good. Okay, and then we're gonna come over up here. You're gonna lead on with the lock here. So the lock you're gonna fit in first. There you go. And then from there, assembly is just the reverse. So you fix it on here. Make sure it's all snug. Feel all around. It should be nice and flush with the body of the car. Then you're gonna put your 10 mils on. Hopefully they haven't come out of the holes, but if they did, grab them. I've got one in here, so we're just going to tighten that one up. Okay, and then the second one, which is here. This is snug. And it's just the 2 pieces left. Fit this over here like this. Snap it in. You wouldn't even know it even came off. And then, of course, just this little piece here. Fit that on. Snaps right into place. All done. And your window's working again. Guys, hopefully this video has helped you out. Not a very common issue in the Grand Prix. I haven't seen, actually, I really haven't seen much of any of them happening, but it does happen. So if if this has happened with you, hopefully this video has helped you out. If you have any questions, concerns, anything, of course, as always, feel free to message me. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Let me know you guys are enjoying it. The more I know you guys enjoy it, the more videos I'll do, right? Other than that, just keep watching. I have more videos coming on, not just on Grand Prix, all sorts of stuff. And thank you very much for watching. Appreciate it, guys.